the NBA season is really coming to an end now. Nearly every single book has been stamped. You look over at the Eastern Conference, the Nets and the Heat are fighting for that 6 and 7 spot. Otherwise, you got the Bulls, the Raptors, and Hawks that are locked in the playing games. They can do a little bit of shuffling amongst themselves, but they are for sure going to be 3 playing teams. And you look above, you got the Knicks, the Cavs, the Sixers, the Celtics, and the Bucks in reverse order going to the top. And again, there could be a little bit of shuffling around there, or actually maybe that they might actually be locked in there because I know the Cavs and the Knicks are playing each other. So there's a chance these matchups, these seeds are locked for the East. And then you go over to the West. The Nuggets, the Grizzlies, the Kings and the Suns have all locked their spots. The Clippers, Warriors, Lakers, Pelicans, Timberwolves, and Thunder are currently in the playoffs or the playing games, with the Mavs and the Jazz just outside can find a way to sneak themselves in. The Mavs and the Thunder are locked at 14 and a half games. That's the 10 and 11 seed. That's the playing game, and that's going home. Looking into the playoffs, while we do not have the exact picture of the first round, we do not have the exact picture of even whoever is going to make the play-in game, where that seeding is going to be. Let's take a little time and try to guess. Take a look at what does Jacob Kelly, what does JK Productions think is going to happen in the NBA playoffs? First, starting off with the conference that I do not trust whatsoever, being the Western Conference. The Western Conference, spearheaded by 3 teams that I all trust with about a grain of salt. Starting off with the Denver Nuggets. Now, I got to see the Denver Nuggets play live. I was in MSG the weekend before I was in MSG again, commentating for FAU. I was there watching the Nuggets and the Knicks play, and I will say, it is impossible to stop Nikola Jokic. You just have to hope he misses or throws the ball out of bounds. That is as simple as it is. It is impossible to guard Nikola Jokic. But year after year, they get to the second round. They got to the Western Conference Finals, and they just do what the Nuggets do. They don't have going to a big man in the playoffs has proved to be a tough ask. The fouls, the whistle gets swallowed a bit. They get tired. The bench gets smaller, so therefore the starters' minutes get elongated. Again, meaning they get more tired. They play this entire season, and the bigs just seem to come up short. Both Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, zero finals appearances between the two, despite Nikola and Joel Embiid being the top 2 candidates for the MVP this year. We have yet to see a single playoff appearance, a single NBA Finals appearance between the two. You have Memphis Grizzlies, parade in my city. Oh boy. Okay, Memphis Grizzlies. Again, do not have any sort of trust in the Grizzlies. Ja Morant's trying to shoot people. You look at the rest of the team. I don't know their identity. I don't know how to describe their identity besides NBA YoungBoy. That's just as simple as it is. I don't trust them in a game 7 to overcome a serious team. And I say that respectfully, somewhat. Ryan, shout out to you. I know you love the Grizzlies, but I have a hard time taking them serious. Dancing around, acting like they're thugs. That's not disrespectful. That's not racially motivated in any sense. But we've just seen them do them, and we saw how they lost to the Warriors last year. I don't know how much I trust Ja Morant in a big settings, a guard that can't shoot. That definitely has bitten teams in the past. You look at the Kings, young team. So glad to see the Kings back in the playoffs. And let me say that first and foremost, I am excited to see Kings basketball in the playoffs, because we've seen the Kings fans show up full force this season, backing the team. The place has gotten electric. I want to see the Kings make it to the finals. I would absolutely love to see it, but I don't expect that to happen from a franchise that the iPhone didn't exist, I believe, the last time they were in the playoffs. Look at the Suns. Suns are probably the team that, if Kevin Durant can get healthy and get in his flow, the Suns are probably the team that I expect to make it to the finals out of the West. That is, I'm going to actually stamp that as my prediction. The Suns, 2 years removed from a finals appearance. Last season, one of the most monumental destructions in NBA playoff history in Game 7 to the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks going on to lose to the Warriors afterwards. It was one of the worst scenes a team has ever seen in a Game 7. I will always say I would prefer to see my team lose on a buzzer beater. Sorry. I would rather my team lose by 30 than on a buzzer beater. That is true. However, as a non-biased, I don't hate the Suns. I don't love the Suns. It was funny to watch them lose by, what was it, 35 points? It was funny. Now they got Kevin Durant. Pair that up with Devin Booker, Chris Paul. They did lose a lot of their depth getting Kevin Durant, but a very serious team that I expect to be the representative in the West. But we'll go down the rest of the list. The Los Angeles Clippers, the Warriors, the Lakers, the only three teams left that, any sort of seriousness to be taken. Pelicans, a young team. Zion's always beat up. Timberwolves really regret going on getting Gobert, I imagine. The Thunder, a very, very young team. Mavericks have extremely disappointed. They've lost. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games are the Mavericks. Pelicans are on a very strong run, 8-2. But you look at the Pelicans, the Timberwolves, the Thunder, the Jazz, the Mavs. These are all first round, at best, first round exits. So you look at the Clippers, a team that has just kind of like we were just talking about with the Nuggets. There's a lot of teams here in the West that have disappointed at the finish line. They have disappointed once they've gotten to the playoffs. If you're not the Warriors, I don't trust you. In the Warriors, I don't trust necessarily because of their team. Now, Steph Curry, I would trust, obviously, without a doubt. Steph, Draymond, Clay, Andrew Wiggins looks like he's coming back. Their bench doesn't matter to me. Those three guys, if they're fully healthy, they can go on a playoff run just the same as they did last year, getting help from Jordan Poole, getting help from Gary Payton, getting help off these younger players coming off the bench. They get help from those guys, and they can make yet another finals appearance. But my pick from the West going into the playoffs is going to be the Phoenix Suns. Let's go over look at the East. Again, the play-in tournament, it's all but determined. Looks like the Heat are probably going to end up being that number 7 seed. The Nets have found a way to hang on after losing Kevin Durant, after losing Kyrie Irving. It looks like they're still going to find a way to end up as the 6th seed. They're 14 games back. The Heat are 15 and a half games back. It's going to be the Hawks, the Raptors, the Bulls. None of those guys, again, they don't pose any sort of real threat. I don't believe any of them can really get past the first round. So 1 through 7, I believe every team 1 through 7 can win a playoff series. Every team 1 through 5 can make the NBA Finals. The Nets, the Heat, they don't have enough. The Heat don't have enough scoring. If it's not Jimmy Butler, then what is it? They just don't score enough points. At one point in the season, I believe still they're actually dead last in scoring per game. I'm looking right now, and that is still the case. 109 points per game is less than the Pistons, is less than the Rockets, is less than the San Antonio Spurs, who barely even shoot the 3. The Heat score the least amount of points in the entire NBA. Now, they also give up around the least amount, and I'm looking at it, and it looks like it's the second least, only behind the Cavaliers. So they don't score, but they also don't give up a lot of points. That's a thin line to walk across when you're going into the playoffs. Them and the Timberwolves are the only teams going into either playoffs or the play-in tournament with a negative point differential. The Timberwolves average negative 0.3 points less than their opponents. The Heat negative 0.7. All right. So I don't trust the Heat to go on and get to the finals. They nearly did last year, and that was surprising. But there needs to be serious changes with the Heat. I'm a Miami Heat fan. I've talked to that ad nauseum about how I'm so pissed off with Pat Riley and how tentative he's been. So the Heat, the Nets, they don't have enough. The Nets are a nice story that they've still maintained their ability to make it into the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to get out of the first round. It's going to be very difficult to go against. Right now, they're projected to play the 76ers. I believe that's what it's going to be. I don't know how you beat Embiid in that squad. So I think the Heat and the Nets done in the first round. That leaves the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Cavs, the Knicks. I want it to be either the Cavs or the Knicks. And a lot of my Heat friends, a lot of my even non-Heat friends, get mad at me when I talk about the Knicks because I don't consider myself a fan necessarily of the Knicks, but I enjoy when the Knicks are good. I went to Madison Square Garden. I was rooting for the Knicks. I enjoy the Knicks as a franchise, as I enjoy all New York sports teams, falling down the line, the Knicks, the Giants, the Yankees. I actually divert over to the Islanders instead of the Rangers. I like New York sports. I don't know if they have enough. Julius Randle as your best player. Jalen Brunson has come over and has been everything and more than what they expected when bringing him over in the offseason. And the Mavericks have literally admitted to missing Jalen Brunson. Luka Doncic has literally admitted to missing Jalen Brunson as somebody to be alongside him. But the Knicks, the Cavs, Man, if Donovan Mitchell can play as hot as he's been playing the last week, they can beat anybody. If Donovan Mitchell can play a series and average 40 points per game, they can beat anybody. But I don't think it's going to be the Cavs. I don't think it's going to be the Knicks. Look at the 76ers. What I just talked about with Nikola Jokic. Your best player is a big, and he is fighting for MVP right now with Nikola Jokic. The whistle started to get swallowed. Can you hit jump shots? And certainly Joel Embiid can hit jump shots. That is not what I'm at all inferring. But when you're running up and down court more than you do in the regular season, when you're somebody who just naturally does get beat up more than other players in Joel Embiid, and we've seen them fall short time and time again, them and the Nuggets do the same thing every single year, and both teams, their best player is a big. And I'm just going to roll with history, and I say the 76ers are not going to make the finals. And that leaves you with two. That leaves you with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics, first half of the season, no idea how they could lose the championship. No idea how they could not make it all the way and win the whole thing. And they started to slow down. And now they've found themselves cemented in the 2 seed, with the Milwaukee Bucks being the top seed. They're going to be the top seed in the entire NBA. They're going to have home court advantage through the entire playoffs. They have done that with Chris Middleton missing serious amounts of time. Chris Middleton missing serious amounts of time. They have championship level experience. They've already been there. They've been there. They've done that. And I just believe they're going to do it again. Yes, physically, Giannis is a big. He is as tall as Embiid. He's as tall as Jokic. He doesn't play like it. You cannot stop Giannis Antetokounmpo. He has a motor unlike anybody else. He's never tired. Even when he's tired, he's not tired. He is unaffected by the length of the season. He has not had any serious injuries throughout his career. And we've seen him make the finals run a couple years ago and win it. And I guess what I'm saying is I think it's going to be a rematch from 2 years ago. I think it's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns by the time the NBA Finals rolls around. Let me know if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching over on Spotify, go over to JK Productions, check it out. Let me know. What do you think the NBA Finals is going to look like? Who's going to be there? Who's going to win it? I got the Milwaukee Bucks, the Phoenix Suns, and I'm going to go with Giannis getting his second ring